The first win for IG was a little bit wonky. It had some loose threads here and there. And the second win for IG was just like a straight, this is our game plan, this is how we're going to win. Hey, we executed it that way as well. So, yeah, I think IG has to come with something surprising here. And so far, nothing surprising in the bans at all. These are the exact same, and then whoop, Dino Storm. No.
No Storm, yeah, they that's a little bit different from what we saw before, right? Because what did we see? We saw the Monkey King getting taken out generally,
Yes,
with that particular ban. So they don't want to allow a Storm Spirit zipping around here at all. The Ember, of course, taken out. He's just too good of a hero, right? The Ember is one of those heroes that can be run as a mid. It can be run as a, position 4. And I believe some of these teams have run it at a 4 in the past. I believe
they
EHOME
did,
actually
yes.
have.
Yep.
So
Stay
what do we
flexible.
think we're going to see this time? Again, we talked about the Void Spirit being a huge issue. Uh, for the other team, they just didn't have, quite the right lockdown, and they had some squishier heroes that were being placed out. So, do we see things that are going to be more tanky coming out, or a ban on that?
Well, at the very least, you see a ban of the Shadow Demon, which is a very good combination with it. And so far, EHOME at the very least looks ready to pick it up again. And I dare say that if we see it again, it'll probably be in the first phase here, because it's just, you can play it as a support as well, just like that Ember Spirit. And it proved so valuable the previous game. EHOME opts for the Mars though. Mars, a little bit iffy into, well, for example, the Force Spirit, because he can turn him around, but also he is a better pick now because the easy support counter is banned.
There's still other options though that you can throw in there to try to, save people from the Mars ultimate. Things like the Winter Wyvern comes to mind. Also, an Oracle, which I know these teams both play. So it's not like they've just won the game by picking the Mars, right? What do you
Not
think
at
we are
all.
going to see though? Do we? I don't think they're going to pick up the Void Spirit just yet. I think right now it's more thinking about what support can we deal with the Mars using.
So Oracle is a decent option. I guess IG is going to say Rubicon. I mean, just lifting a Mars up and keeping him in the air while he tries to, bonk people around his arena is always pretty good. It's also decent steal. Spear's a decent steal. Like I can see where they're just going for it as well. And in regards to any possible spirit pickups, I said it already last game, but all of the spirits dislike the instant disable of the lift.
Right. Well, we'll follow up with the Centaur talking about non-instant disables that wind up on Centaur. I know Sunspan absolutely hates this hero because of the fact that it takes like what he feels is a million years, but will allow them to get in and out of any bad situations. It's also a classic lane combo, having that Rubik lift into Centaur Stomp. Although I do like this, it's interesting that they picked up the Lich, right? Because Lich is really good during the laning phase, but during actual team fights, Centaur can just stampede away.
Not if they're
Unless
all in the Mars arena.
they're exactly. Unless they're all stuck in that Mars arena. So social distancing will be very, very important for the side of Invictus gaming this particular game, because we saw how much damage they could do when all the pieces came together and locked it up. So no
I
Ricky
really
this time.
like
They've
this
had enough
combination.
of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, Ricky, you don't want to play Mars against Ricky. I think the last game made that abundantly clear. And yeah, these center ults are going to have to be clutch, just like they were last game actually, where you actually get to run people out of the arena before it's fully up. That requires some quick fingers and a lot of awareness of when the Mars is jumping.
Who can hit those buttons the best? Sometimes that is the game in Dota 2. But I assume
It
now we're
is.
going to see something like the off laner and the position 5 probably come out from IG. We still don't have a great solution to the Mars currently, what eHome's bringing to the table. So, what would you like to see?
I want to see some magic damage cores. This Lich and Mars are going to have a ton of physical damage resistance together. It's going to be very hard to fight into them at all if you don't bring some magic to the table. So, they opt for the Bane first, which is another possible save in the arena as well as just a disable in the arena. Bane has been winning a lot recently. I think it is because a lot of these lineups feature one big burly boy who stands in front, who's trying to be as annoying as possible, and he's like, don't you dare ignore me. Well,
Mhm.
yeah, nightmare him. And then afterwards, when his team is dead, you might even still Fiend's Grip him.
The only thing I don't like about Bane is the fact that you can't push out waves with this hero. That becomes a big problem. I mean, granted, right now you've got a Rubik with a Fade Bolt that can help, de-push. You've got a Centaur, obviously. It is very hard to play Bane from behind. And I think the other thing, too, that also makes things very difficult is that with the gold nerfs and with the fact that you don't have, the deny function, right? This is going to be a very poor hero. But thinking about that, the fact that you've got kind of everything in your kit that you need for the most part, other than possibly another save for yourself or some sort of movement um, situation. He is very, very good. He does do well as a poverty 5.
Who can forget the PPD Banes?
That's true.
The
That's very
literal
true.
position
Ah, man,
6.
shout out PPD. Dota's not going to be the same with him taking a break here. I don't think he's ever actually out of the scene. I feel like that's a guy that's going to be sticking around in some capacity, maybe not as a player, but
Maybe on the business side of things. Uh, Morphling, like I was gonna talk about the Dark Willow first because they are just, going all in on that arena, but Morphling stealing Dark Willow spells is extremely annoying and also extremely powerful.
Lycan. The Lycan
But I like
somehow
him.
made it through the entire first phase here. I'm actually really surprised about that. This is a hero, I think Jenkins posted what, like a 60, 61, 62% win rate right now? Like this
Yep.
guy is insane.
And IG is not looking to deal with him too well, although the Bane is a decent pick. Like Lycan loves to run around these team fights, pick off supports in general, be very hard to catch and to deal with, but as I said, you can just sleep in and then nightmare him. Fiend's Grip him. Give him more bad dreams on top of his bad dreams, is what I'm trying to say here. The only problem is that Bane gets absolutely eaten alive by his army. So other people are going to have to deal with that, and that is where the lineup of IG doesn't exactly shine.
Yeah. Gosh, honestly, I feel like they could just go for another redo here with like a Void Spirit or something like that and be able to, slip into the back lines, take care of the Bane before it becomes an issue, or focus all that attention back there, give you another form of initiation. I don't know.
There's
I'm
that
gonna
funky king still.
Okay,
There's your
they go for the
assassin.
TA. That's still a good assassin. I like it. It's not too much to take down her refraction too.
Not at all. And I want to reinforce something here that you said before, which is that IG didn't look to have too much to push out lanes with. And by now, if you look at how the EHOME lineup has come together, they are definitely behind on that, and they can't just fix that with the last pick anymore. With the Templar Assassin killing the creep waves, with the Lycan army, and then of course with the Mars, as well as the Dark Willow actually just being really good at taking down creep waves, eHome will always have their waves out, and it'll make the game just slightly easier to play for them, no matter what the actual matchups hero per hero are here. So IG, I want to see. But it's probably going to be an emo morphling, isn't it?
I would guess so. So they need to find something else for Fly that's going to be able to be tempo as well. And that's going to be tough because did they take out? Yeah, they took
Yes.
out the DK very, very early.
I enjoy versus Templar, Razor, Viper. I mean, I've seen some people pick up Venomancer straight up, but I actually don't think that that's worth it because most players that play mid just can't like pull anything off with a Venomancer.
Yeah,
So
it's yeah. I don't like the Venomancer. I don't really like the idea of a Viper. Honestly, they need
like
something. I don't know.
like
Like I don't know what's.
Razor doesn't feel good against the Lycan, but it does come up really well with the Bane.
Hmm. I don't know. This feels like a very tight draft coming out from eHome, and I'm liking it a lot.
It does, yeah.
But
It feels really good.
what is okay? All right.
OGA. Acceptable. The torrent takes off all of the refraction charges in one go, so that does pretty well. But on the lane itself, Kunkka doesn't exactly dominate the Templar Assassin, and she farms jungle better than he does. So
Yes.
Let's see, but this is an emo specialty. So in that regard, let's see him run at the enemy with a tanky bastard this time.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how this mid lane matchup goes for sure. You know, the fact that you've got the capability to remove the refraction, but also the fact that Nothing to Say isn't going to be too concerned about that. He's going to be able to go jungle using the side blades, and I think I just feel like this Lycan is such a huge problem. Honestly, I feel like this is going to be the thing that's going to be very difficult for IG to have to deal with at the end of the day.
It's not just a Lycan; it's a Sylar Lycan, and
yeah,
this is if I think Sylar, I do definitely think Naga Siren, Lycan, and I mean old school Sylar's probably PL, but these days of course Troll Warlord.
mm-hmm.
It's one of the classics at any rate, and he has no reason to hold back here whatsoever. This is a great Lycan game.
Well, we'll have to see what ends up happening here, but I imagine lane-wise, let's see, it's just a strong lane when you've got a Lich to babysit you too. The Kaka and JT lane, you know, we talked about it is a classic. It is one of those lanes that, you know, can be difficult, but I guess the other thing that we're noticing too, coming out from the side of both of these teams, is that they don't have the most excellent roaming heroes exactly. So it looks like we're going to have more stationary lanes, a little bit more traditional, and it's just going to be a lot of harass and trading back and forth.
Yeah, the first game very clearly opted into that Kaka roam, and it worked out beautifully for them. But Rubik is just not a roaming hero these days, especially with the Fable having been nerfed since that time.
And he's not quite the hero that you want to TP to save in case, you know, you do have some sort of ganks, in case, you know, the mid laner gets himself a run of opportunity or what have you.
Not really, no. He mostly enjoys coming in after the fact and yapsering a kill here and there.
Right.
Step lively now. Your admiral is
I love that that's the term now. I can just say yapsering and everyone knows what I mean.
You can see that side of EHOME getting into position to try to shore up again, take these outposts. This is something that I think is really fun to watch because I started noticing this in the SA region. And it seems like, again, you know, I don't watch all the regions super religiously. Unfortunately, I can't, right? Because it's just way too difficult. Way too difficult to watch that much Dota in the amount of time allotted to us on Earth. But I hadn't been seeing it until recently in some of these other regions, which I think is kind of cool to see it. Just showing, you know, you've got a place to TP into. We saw in the past with Nothing to Say actually TPing right in to do the cleanup crew.
Yep.
And the other scuffle early on here.
The battle begins.
See how these rooms are going to get divided. Both of these teams were hiding their lanes just a little bit here. I do think they're coming out exactly as expected for both sides though. So the Bane, I'm expecting Ollie to TP to bot right now. Yeah, there we go.
Yep, he was just placing a ward over in the mid lane. He's still got a sentry ward on him, so if they suspect that they placed that ward behind the tower, which it doesn't look like they did, they can easily take it down.
So Bane, great trading hero here, and he's going to need to... Well, skill that brains up, I suppose.
I like that cheeky little play, though. You drop down the bramble maze and then you just shield bash him right into one of the brambles. That's actually super fun. I like that.
I've never seen that before, but yeah, I like that too. It's a nice little synergy, and I think that Dark Willow is, I wouldn't say criminally, but she's very underused. The amount of damage that she can put out, as well as the amount of teamfight control that she provides, they can be really super useful. But not a lot of teams seem to have opted into it so far, apart from, of course, Taiga.
Oh, Crit plays quite a bit Dark Willow too.
Yeah, that's true actually.
That's like one of his favorite heroes, honestly. Oh, Ollie.
This is going to be a very rough bot lane for Lifeline.
Yeah, right, because also the attribute shift takes so long now, too.
Radiant's
So he's
courier
got to
has
play it
been
very
killed.
carefully. A little bit of courier snipe, though, going on. Just feel like that's constant, right? Because now that the couriers are so slow in these early levels, it's just too easy to go and grab them.
Yeah, I do think that the settling into regular 2v2 lanes has protected them a little bit. There's not a lot of space to roam on people's couriers after you know they got them in. But that's about the only thing. Apart from that, yeah, they're food.
It's been a pretty quiet laning phase, though. I've seen people getting a little bit low. No first blood just yet. Where do you think we're going to see the first blood, if you had to guess?
Kill potential, either bot or top lane. Give me a second to think about that.
I think probably the bot lane. I think is where we're going to see the first blood.
It's a bit of a cop out. Like I think Fly lives here if he just keeps his if he just manages to shift his attributes correctly. So for me, I'd say it's probably on the top lane. Sylar needs to sustain really hard here to deal with the constant harass of this Rubik.
I say this as I'm watching Kaka very slowly getting chipped away by these ones. Are they gonna dive? Are they gonna do it? They're gonna do it. Oh my god. That was the slowest kill.
In your own way.
That was the slowest kill. I watched them duke it out. They just started hitting each other over here on the side of the jungle. And just, Sylar sends the wolves over. Just to be like, alright, go for it. I believe in you. That was actually so funny to watch. Oh my god, that feels so bad if you're Kaga.
It's rough, and he was feeding on the wolves here, but like look at Sylar here now. This is what I was thinking.
Join.
Yeah,
there it is.
thank you. Vindication.
Yeah. That shield's gonna help you a little bit, but
Doesn't even describe it.
looks like they're not gonna hard commit on it just yet.
And meanwhile, Ollie?
Bottom lane, Ollie gets taken down as well.
He knows that he has to buy space. In the sense of that, just throw your body forward, keep that Maresca out of reach of
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
the. I get completely sorry, my words don't want to word right now.
It's okay, that's fine.
Out of the way of Fly. Thank you.
I feel like, again, it's a Fly, you know, yes, he does oh, look at that. Perfectly placed. Both of them get hit with the shield bash right into those brambles. That's actually so cool. It's these little things that I really like about this particular lane. But Fly, he needs to be careful, he's sitting a bit low.
Also, JT
Top lane, they were trying to make some moves onto JT, but still fairly tanky.
They can go again as soon as this Fate Bolt wears off. Kaka can't Fate Bolt his way out of this forever. He's out of mana even right now, so he's securing the rune right now, but that means that JT needs to be very careful.
Nothing to say, is gonna walk right into Ollie. Not quite that level 6 though, it doesn't have the traps. Some nice efficiency though coming out from Nothing to Say. He was stacking the camp at around the same time that rune was gonna spawn, so he manages to get the rune, and he also manages to get himself a nice little stack for himself.
It's something that the Radiant can do over on the left side of the map, but Emo apparently had the wave pushed into him, so yeah, this is where, as I said, the TA is going to be able to supplement better than the Kunkka, and that makes it from a starting at a 50-50, it slowly moves over towards the TA just because she farms faster, and Emo is going to have to rotate somewhere to make things happen instead.
2 masks on this brigantine.
Was this a situation? Do you want to slow down Sylar more, or do you want to give your Morphling more breathing space? Which one's more value, I guess?
I mean, doing it both at the same time is very possible. Like, a good rotation with an X on top will do both.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I think that that's your preferred target, which is also why Kaka is roaming around that mid lane, seeing if there's a possibility to either connect to top, or in this case, they're going to assault the mid tower with 3, it seems.
They do force in Q over here to the mid lane. We've got 2 of these supports. The X marks the spot, followed up with the torrent and the boat. Should be able to find this kill over here onto the TA despite all of these bubbles. Oh, they almost managed to keep her alive. But now Emo force back did pop that arcane rune during this fight. Throws out a casual torrent, not going to connect on anyone. All he needs to be careful though. They have the Shadow Realm. If they wanted to, they could possibly go back in. But they're satisfied with that. They've slowed down the Templar Assassin. They've forced those rotations. A little breathing room for Fly down here. Not much, but some.
Yeah, this 1v1 isn't exactly ideal for him either, but he's keeping up the levels and that's good enough for now. And on the top lane, I think Sylar is less happy with the 1v1 he's getting, just because JT kills his wolves in 2 hits. And if the wolves hit JT, they also kill themselves. So this is going to force him attention towards top soon, unless Sylar towards the mid tower. So this is purely a jungle rotation teleport. Normally at this time we see these carries rotate to the off lane and come in to take the first tower there, but this is too early. Sylar just decides to go be a Lycan in the woods.
Emo finding the kill on Faith Vienna in the bottom lane, and it looks like they're trying to make some moves over onto E in the top lane. You can see both of these supports are here. But that did open the door then for them to take down the Mars. Did he use... No, he's almost 6-2.
Fear what you cannot see.
They're taking it very easy this game. And one of the problems with this Lycan being forced out of its lane is that now Nothing to Say and Sylar both need a jungle. And either of them at some point is going to get forced to fight, and I wonder who is going to pick up that ball most. I'm imagining it's going to be Sylar.
I think it has to, right? Because TA she doesn't have what's needed right now, and she's one of those heroes that really does start to fall behind. But we see a smoke come out from the side of EHOME as they make their way bottom. There is the Arena of Blood online now for Faith Bien, so maybe they can make something happen here.
Wi-Fi is a hard kill.
We got a Centaur here. Oh, the pushback though, maybe just a little bit too far. Fly. They're looking for the opening. They've got the Centaur looking for this stomp. It's just everyone and their mom is here. They're not even going to need the Arena of Blood. They should be able to just get that pick off. Alright.
Yeah.
Like you said, Kips, though, here's the rotation from Sylar.
Yes.
Not the mid lane this time, the bottom,
middle
but
tower is under attack.
definitely the right call here. Still holding on to that Arena of Blood too, so it makes it pretty difficult for anybody to kind of make their way over to this bottom lane. But middle lane looks like Email is going to try to throw a boat over here onto Nothing to Say. Kaka's still standing nearby, but a couple of these supports, they'll follow up with that Bramble Maze. The lift being thrown over here onto Mars will keep him out of this fight, but it doesn't matter because they'll still be able to find the Kunkka. And now Kaka may be regretting this as he is stuck within the Arena of Blood. He is trying to save his Kunkka from it, but instead takes it himself and ends up giving a kill.
Yeah, he should regret that. Tries to take away some from the TA by farming forward camp, but that's risky business.
Tower is under attack.
Interestingly enough, Sylar did not end up taking the bot tower yet during that kerfuffle, so maybe IG can decide to put Kaka. Well, he just spent the CP. I think that if you're Kaka, you move towards the bot lane now and see if you can keep this tower alive.
Radiant's bottom tower.
It's going to be very hard though. There's still support rotating in for Sylar.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Fly's going to be really careful too.
And bot tower is gone. As a result of that, well, unfortunate TP from Kaka, but he bought his book. He's level 6 now. He's going to be happy to get like a couple last hits here to finish off his mana boots, and then he can start rotating more again. And I'm honestly the most interested to see what Faith Beyond is going to go right now, because he doesn't have anything in his quick buy, but he does have saved up 1,000 gold by now. I'm not the biggest fan of Blink First Mars, just because if you miss your spear, that's it. You don't get to blink anymore, and your initiation range is so huge with, well, both your spells having pretty big range as well as
JT?
Your allies.
Oh, nice stop. Actually going to survive a little bit longer now. Faith Bien's going to get held up over here using that Fiend Scare, plus the boat coming in. They'll turn that gank right around. JT's going to be able to survive it. And as this is going on, Kaka will fall to Sylar in the bottom lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Completely expected.
Everything happened at once.
he has to die there in order to make sure that the top gank actually goes off. Very interested to see Fly show up there though. That's a very early
Radiant's
rotation for
middle
Morphin.
tower is under attack.
Well, perhaps he doesn't feel safe within his own jungle, and that's why he went to the top. Because
Yeah,
there
he would be
there's
right.
a TA in the jungle, and the Lycan is farming up the lane and pushing it out. So
Dire's top tower
Some
is
bandits on
under
the
attack.
loose. I want to see a pipe from Faith Beyond just because most of the damage coming out from the Radiant lineup right now is magical, and it'll allow him to stay inside of stay alive in these forays, make sure that his cores can come in to deal the actual damage. I don't think it stuns that. I have a lot of area control with the Dark Widow.
middle lane, nothing to say, is gonna get ganked. 4 different heroes. Kaka even managed himself some refraction, so he's feeling a little bit tankier than usual. Good pick off from the side of IG. When does it reach the point where the Templar Assassin is... I don't want to say a liability, but just is really struggle busing, I guess, for lack of a better term. I don't know. Oh, hold that thought, as we do get a Chain Frost thrown out with immediate Delta split coming out from IG. They want to try to finish up here over onto Kaka. Fear Spell's going to come in, followed up with the Arena of Blood. They'll be able to take down the Dark Willow. They'll lose Kaka as well. Nice Centaur stomp as he just goes cruising on by, but it's not enough to save their Dark Willow.
At the very least, they get to keep their mid tower for a little bit longer, and if you're EHOME right now, you might want to think about... Well, you spent the arena, and you're going into Kuka, it's hard actually. Nothing to say.
If nothing to say, dies here twice.
This is there, my friend.
Oh, and the Fiend Script on top of it. They kill him again! He's died 2 times now here in the mid lane. Within the course of 2 minutes, they'll find another kill over onto E, and now JT chasing after Faith Beyond. They've got the spear. It's not going to connect, but they do manage to land the torrent.
And this is why I was asking, what's the Mars going to buy with that money? Because he died twice now. He could have, you know, and he's still sitting on 1,000 gold. That could have been, at the very least, a hood by now. But he's just letting it sit in his pocket. And
Well,
yeah,
perhaps he feels like he needs to be the tempo controller at this point, because there's no way that this TA can jump in and do much without Mars. So perhaps he thinks, all right, TA's got a Blink Dagger, I need to get a Blink Dagger too, so that way, you know, I can be the initiator, she can follow up. I don't know.
Yeah, probably, like, it is going to work that way, but at the same time, both of them are accessories to buying space for Sylar right now.
Yeah.
Dire's top
And
tower is under attack.
I don't like lineups where 2 heroes need to jungle, basically. You see that in like, for example, teams stumble into the Phantom Assassin, Templar Assassin lineup sometimes as well. That one also really doesn't work.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But
Well, I mean, ideally, you never want to end up having two in the jungle anyways, but they need to be careful. They might get baited here. Although Sylar jumping in, Kaka immediately the lift, the push, but doesn't matter. They'll find the kill. Fly does have a TP, so he should be able to get out here. He's hiding up in the tree line anyway, so we'll just turn their attention to the tower.
This is, well, it cost them their mid tower, but they already lost their mid tower on
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
the wrong TA rotations anyway. This is some much needed action from Sylar. I think he's sat in that bottom lane long enough. He's got his helmet for Dominator, he's got his first level of the Necrobook. He's going to be pretty happy with himself right now. And he's only going to get scarier as time goes on.
Smoke comes out, they found nothing to say. The Fiend Script, the X, the boat, everything in the kitchen sink, and that's just a dead TA.
From 0 to 0. Like, what was his score again last game?
Radiant structures are fortified.
Ridiculous. I think he only had like
16-1
one
and
death.
something?
Middle tower is under
It was very good. This is definitely not proven to be his game right now. And that's gotta hurt as a TA.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Hurts as any hero, honestly, especially in the mid lane when you're supposed to be that you know, mid game presence, and you are just a blip on the map.
Yeah, and one of the heroes that we just haven't had to talk about, I've said like, hey, Sylar needs to move, but you know what? Fly, he hasn't done anything except farming since he showed up on that top lane. He's flying in his eagle horn right now. He is going to have an E-Blade within the next couple of minutes, and that's where it gets scary for the support of EHOME.
He needs to show up to the fights, though, I guess is the other thing. It's...
Oh, Steam's doing just
great.
fine without him. Both the Templar Assassins was alike and are really going to hate being disarmed as well.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Sylar. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
that
no.
seems... My brain, yeah. Yep.
I fly.
I was like, why would he be getting an E-Blade? Like, that doesn't make sense. Just roll with it, Moxie. Just roll with it. Make Kips look good. You never know. It's Dota. Everything is wild. Ember Spirit is a position 4 now, and Death Prophet was run as a 5 by Pylai Dai. You know, anything goes. Envy's playing mid. The world's gone crazy.
Dire are scanning.
Death Prophet 5 is like, look how they massacred my girl. Don't do that. Death Prophet's not a 5.
I see that's your Sniper 4.
Roshan has fallen.
Yeah, I'm already
Trying to get
getting
taken
naked to
down.
Sniper 4.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Killer
attack.
Pigeon. That's all I'm gonna say. Killer
I'm so
Pigeon.
sorry.
Smoke
Alright.
straight out of the Roche pit.
There might be able to
Sylar's
find
breaking into
Sylar here.
premises.
The is gonna go. Grabs the double damage though. Not gonna be able to allow that to go over to Fly, but the rest of the team, they aren't there. They can't help him out. Faith BN over here on the corner throws the spear. It's gonna get stolen here by Rubik as he gets pinned over to the tree. And on the sidelines, Fly was trying to go after the Dark Willow. Faith BN left behind though is gonna get taken down by Ollie, and now we will lose the Dark Willow as well. So a nice smoke play and the Aegis here over on IG.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And it feels a little bit like an afterthought, but what is that Blink Dagger doing for the March right now? His...
You're really hung up on this Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I am. But it's just, I was alerted to this phenomenon by someone, and I just keep seeing Marches who are like, you can also just walk in there and throw down, you know, these spells that takes up the entire screen.
Yep, that is true too. Especially if you're tanky enough.
Yes, exactly.
But
And I think
Right
you
now
can see the difference in who gets to play up through JT as well. Of course, like, he is much further ahead by now, but he's just not done nearly as much dying. He's got a halberd, he's got a vanguard, he's got a cloak. Man's inventory is full of all kinds of nifty things that just help him to fight.
it's not flashy, but it's honest work, right?
Exactly.
Look at this, they just can't go anywhere near their jungle. Side of EHOME pushed out. They blink 4, okay, there's blink 4, they'll find Kaka, but a lot of that time has been wasted here as Kaka spins him right back.
Oh,
Nightmare's gonna
beautiful
get used. Can he make it out in time? They throw out that frost here. Are they gonna be able to find it? They'll find the kill now. Emo getting pulled right back over. He's held up with that cursed crown. They'll find the kill on E. They'll find another kill. Are they gonna be able to find anything else? So Sylar is forced to run away. There's the spear though over here onto Emo. They're gonna try to save him a little bit longer using that E-Blade. Buybacks coming out now from the main. They're looking like they want to go win. That Stampede being used by JT. We'll find out this Templar Assassin over here on the side. There's just too much damage. She cannot survive that. And Emo finds himself a kill on Shin Q on the other side of my screen that I did not see here.
Gold for my chest.
I'm a bit surprised that IG tries to pop that many resources onto Dark Willow, who already got her ult off. Like, she's already dealing all of the damage that she can right now.
Dire's middle tower.
I think you really need to save your spells as a bane for, well, in particular that Lycan, which he unfortunately dies to.
Gold for me.
Because apart from you, your lineup doesn't really have any control, especially when Kaka gets brought on like that at the beginning. Like, Kaka does everything he needs to do. He buys enough time so that the arena is basically, well, I wouldn't say wasted, but
Dire's top tower is under attack.
it doesn't do that much.
Dire's top
And then
tower
follow
has
up.
fallen.
Fight the cores get to fight man to man.
I hope no one saw that.
Kaka playing with Faith BN over here, had managed to steal the spear. And in comes the Morphling, says stop playing with your food, eat your vegetables. Let's go.
Green food means green MMR?
Sure, we'll go with it.
I don't know. What I do know though is that Sylar and his Lich friend over here need to get the hell out of Dodge because the reinforcements are coming in and they're coming through all of the different routes. Ollie?
Oh,
yourself.
they maybe got a... Okay, yep.
Is it worth it though? They know where Tyler is.
No, I don't think it is. If they can lock down Sylar and get this kill, I don't think that was worth it at all. Boat comes in, fly, yep. They'll even go, they'll throw out the chain frost, but look at it, they just delta split. They have no cares. They're like, okay, that was cute. Now we're gonna murder you. Double kill now for Fly. Definitely not worth it.
That's too opportunistic. And JT has been keeping up the pressure all this time. He's just been sitting in the mid lane, cutting those creeps off, making sure that nothing even reaches their side of the map. So, EHOME is so pressured right now. Can't go anywhere.
Yeah, they're about 12k ahead here over on IG. All three of their cores are top net worth right now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This is looking real rough for EHOME this time around.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, after the Templar assassin gets her BKB, she gets to move around a little bit more. Because the Morphling's not going to be able to blow her up. And especially, like, they're going to have to save the Bane Fiend script for her, but if they do, that means it's not spent on the Lycan. And that feels like a bit of a sad reason to buy a BKB, but if that means that Sylar gets to run around and murder all of the supports, I think it's totally worth it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, the Aegis does just get reclaimed here over on the Morphling, so they'll back off. He does have himself his BKB though, so we talked about BKBs on the enemy team, but also now Fly, you have nothing really to lock him down with. You have no solutions. That's going to be a big problem.
You don't, but since you're behind, you also don't have the damage to fight him straight up. The more interesting item for me though is on Emo. Do you see what he has?
What we
He
got?
has an Aghanim Scepter.
Alright.
See, the
Dire's
Torrent
turret
Storm
has been killed.
is one of the most ridiculous Ags in the game, in my opinion. It just makes an entire, well, screen worth unplayable. And
At least there's no PL and Monkey King in this game too, because that's when my computer just dies.
oh yeah,
We've got all
I mean,
those
it has gotten
illusion
slightly
summons.
better, hasn't it?
Fly? He's gonna get held in place. You can see Emo has himself a haste rune. He's hoping maybe he can catch someone here. He sees nothing to say.
Actually goes for it. Emo?
That might be a little too far here, Fred. But there it is. There's the Torrent Storm. Mars not going to be able to quite land that sphere.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay.
Well, space for Sylar. But yeah, that's some patented Emo gameplay right there. Get a haste rune, run up the enemy high ground,
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
pop all your spells.
You know, it's
Love that
about the mind game there, Kip. Sometimes you just gotta show that you're the alpha by running at the enemy or diving into their base and using all of your spells.
Establish dominance. There's a wolf on the enemy team. You can't show your throat.
My waters rise. A lucky find.
Smoke coming out here on the side of IG. They're hoping maybe they can catch someone. Perhaps they can catch out this Lycan, but he's already hiding over here in the tree line.
Just hiding is not enough though. The smoke's gonna pop on JT.
It does. They know he's there. Oh no, Sylar! The lift a little bit of miscommunication. They're not gonna be able to get all that locked down. He's gonna have to try to go into that wolf form, but he's just immediately nightmared up. Emo's here. He's not even needed as JT collects a kill on a wolf pelt. And they take down his creeps. Oof. He should have TP'd out. I guess just a little too greedy there, thinking that maybe he can keep pushing. I don't know.
Yeah, if it's a regular rotation,
E?
gets to get out, but...
Feels like we're just kind of hemorrhaging kills now on the side of EHOME.
Yeah. But this was always going to happen with a lineup that necessitates that you spread yourself out like this. Because the Lycan doesn't want to fight straight up anymore as soon as he's behind, so he's going to be separated. And, well, as you can see here, the fact that there's not enough jungle to go around just meant that his Templar Assassin, in spite of getting the farm priority even, is just underfarmed, can't do anything. And
Oh my god, immediately. It's a good terrorize, but it doesn't matter. No buyback on the Mars. BKB gets popped by Fly.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What can they do?
Well, remember when I said that EHOME was my favorite team to win this series? I don't think that anymore. That was wrong.
I mean, they played this very, very well, for sure. I mean, they shut down the TA. That was a very big, a big part of their win condition was having that mid-game presence. And they found some openings. I don't know what, I was nothing to say down there. How did a Rubik? Okay, you know, whatever. Alright.
Yeah, there are several question marks there, and I'm prepared to just let it slide because I wasn't watching that either. Why was nothing to
I was
say?
not expecting, yeah,
I know why he was there, because they decided to let that Rax go, and Kaka is a smart guy, he's like, alright, the TA is not here, I'm gonna go look for him. Maybe they spotted him on a ward as well, I'm not sure, but like, how does he get the kill? That's my biggest question mark.
I'm gonna have to go back into that replay later. I want to find that out for sure.
Yeah, I need to know that as well. So,
Not what you expect, Steve.
one last fight for EHOME is severely hampered by the fact that their TA is dead.
I mean, what does a TA do in this fight really anyways at this point? She's so far behind.
She has a BKB! Click people. That's why she doesn't have any buyback. She bought a BKB.
Okay, alright. Let's see. Let's see that last hurrah here. Can you get back into this? Can you make them overconfident and misstep? Look at this. They smoked back. Oh, in comes JT, finds himself with Dark Will of Faithian on the front lines over here. Xingqiu just immediately destroyed. Faithian gets speared right back as Fly is the better Mars, apparently. And the chase is on. Sylar is just being... Yeah, JT tanked everything, but it's a triple kill now for Fly as they just take down Sylar. There is no buyback, and the GG gets called. IG gonna be able to take this victory off from EHOME. And the 2-1.
Very nice, yeah. And a revenge for that series they lost yesterday.
Yeah. Yep, I mean, we've seen a lot of these matchups recently because we have so many, so much Dota being played right now. But it is kind of fun. You know, we talked about this earlier, Kips, the fact that both of these teams seem fairly well matched, but it definitely feels like if one team gets even the slightest bit of advantage, it's very difficult for the other team to come back.
Yeah,
and this is with the nerfs too, like to the fact of comeback gold and whatnot.
Yep. I mean, it's why I thought the first game was so impressive, just because that is a legit comeback. That is itemization on IG, allowing them to take control of the map again after the Naga took it all from them, and they correctly identified that that's their problem and moved